What is going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm glad you're here in this special place. Everyone, thanks for the enormous positivity. It is absolutely contagious. I'm grateful for it. There's so much I would like to comment alone just from all your comments this morning. I wish we could do that. I sincerely do. We were talking this morning in the Telegram group about how, I feel like my work is done when my students surpass me in knowledge and ability. It's a beautiful thing. You are all wonderful. Looking forward to the session over here. We have Bitcoin pumping this morning, just a stone throws away from all-time highs. That's nice. That's nice. This tweet by Alan this morning. Alan, thank you. This tweet by Alan this morning. The FOMO's real. The FOMO's real. I'm going to tell you right now, for me, myself, the FOMO's real. Right? I tell you why. You all know I took 2/9 of my tradable position off. I feel better off fully positioned into Bitcoin. However, what's 30% less 20,000? That's all the way back at 14,000. Right? That's all the way back. Alan's post right over here. He's like, listen, don't FOMO into Bitcoin. Watch this video we put out yesterday. Is now a good time to buy Bitcoin? And you know what? That was just like the perfect little tweet I needed to see this morning. I'm following my own advice. I'm sitting pretty. You know what? It feels good. Listen, there's a lot to talk about, including, remember last week we showed Alan and Brandon's descending wedge here on Ethereum, Bitcoin. Look how they nailed the bottom over here. The burst out. Are we coming back in for a retest? It looks like it. We're going to look at that. On the calendar this week, we do have the Fed meeting minutes tomorrow. Something to pay attention to. I don't have it up on the screen, but probably some big news over here. I think the markets, by the way, are a little bit euphoric, pumping this morning for two reasons. Number one, from Trump's tweet yesterday saying that the Biden transition team could begin their work for the betterment of the country. And number two, for Janet Yellen being the perspective. I say perspective because, until something's set in stone, it's not set in stone. But it looks like Janet Yellen is going to be the U.S. Treasury Secretary. So much for that separation between the Federal Reserve, right, and the U.S. Gov. as the Fed puts an insider into the U.S. Treasury, so they could, as this relationship is being blurred between the government and the Treasury and the Fed anyway, right? If they have an insider in there, it just makes their work a lot easier as they make this next transition into the digital currencies, bypass the banks 100%. It's all happening before our eyes, but the market likes it this morning. Why do the markets like it? Because you all know Janet Yellen is a big proponent that the Federal Reserve should just start buying stocks. All right, everyone. I want to really focus in on this morning on gold and silver right here, right now. We're going to start off this episode looking at gold and silver before we get into the indexes. All right, I'm going to start with silver because it's clear for us. And everyone could see this morning that silver is coming right back down and is flirting with this trend line support right here. Now, a break below that would be a very negative event on silver. Okay, and then you still have this last line of hope. This now has just become the hope line down here at $22.20. If we break that, right, and assuming that we took out that last little low over here, if we break that, that could be bad news bears for a little while on silver. But right now we're into support. If silver is able to go ahead and hold this support today, that is a bullish event. Everyone right now is very soured on the precious metals. That's usually a time when they bottom, by the way. I'm not. My ears are open. I'm watching what's happening. I'm going to be watching the tape. I'm going to be watching by the way, big shout out. If you never read Remnants of a Stock Operator, Remnant, how do you say it? Remnant, could someone type it for me? Remnants of a Stock Operator, the story of Jesse Livermore. It's one of the best trading books I've ever read in my life. Do check that out. It's a great one. But so I'm going to be watching the price action today and see what happens over here. Let's look at gold, right? Let's look at gold, and I'm going to just go ahead and do a couple of things. I'm going to clone this. Everyone's familiar with these lines we were watching. I want you to watch because this morning as I'm looking at silver over here, and I'm saying, well, it has potentially the possibility of holding that, and if it does, That's bullish for me. I wanted to see what's going on in gold. I want to share it with you. Make of it what you will. But follow me over here where we are right now. So I'm focused on right over here. My eyes focused right there on that line right there. That takes me right over to here as well. If you extend this down, right? I feel like I'm cheating. Let me bring that back. I'm just gonna extend this right. I want to see where it comes up. There you go. So you could see that I can make the case here right now that gold also, why again, and I've been very adamant for the last week that silver looks better than gold, and silver is holding up better than gold. Silver still right now, by the way, has, look, 1, possibly 2 lower highs, right? Look at gold though. Gold is making lower lows. There's no question in my mind that silver looks better than gold technically right now. But at the same time, watch what happens over here. We're into an area, this area back in July. It's a little bit of supply. I have the support down over here around 1792, but this whole area, this is where we are right now. Watch what happens. Again, the metals turn when sentiment is way against them. I have not written them off yet. That's what my point over here, all right? My point is I've not written them off yet. Vince has got a comment over here. When do those parallel line close for gold? It looks like you are fitting facts to fit your belief. Vince, believe what you want. I really could care less. my work speaks for itself. You could jump in here and think what you want. It doesn't matter. We got over a year's worth of videos showing what's up. I don't need to prove anything to anyone at all. Believe what you want, my brother. Believe what you want. I did not see that at all. I'm not even aware of it. Thanks for pointing it out to everyone. You know, Gino, Conca Trading, Game of Charades. Thanks, brother Gino. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are, you know what? I'm going to call you guys. You know what? The free world's got you shook. You guys are all tainted, and that's all right. That doesn't bother me at all. Guess what? Life's going to be really difficult for you. That's fine. I don't care. I really don't care. I take care of my own, and those that are not, I could care less. All right, DXY, let's check it out this morning. All right, let's check out the DXY because what we're looking at over here is a couple of things. What I'm following over here is boom, right? We're still holding the support. We tested again. The bottom of the blue box this morning. Not only did we test the bottom of the blue box, we tested this trend line. We said in yesterday's afternoon update that if we're able to go ahead. By the way, Brad, big shout out to Brad. Brad, new emoji. Brad, your great morning has really been coined and caught on. Thanks for sharing that with us. You were the first one to share it in this community, and we all love it. Looks like the DXY, we talked about this in yesterday's afternoon's update, has the possibility of going ahead and resuming off of over here. That would be bullish. And if that happens, then we're targeting 93.50. But, and very clearly, but at the end of the day, the DXY is directionless. It's not really doing anything. We're just waiting and looking for a little bit firmer signal. Jordan, there seems to be so many conflicting signals. Which economic quadrant do you think we're in? I think that's all, you know, quad 3, quad 4. That's all some hype BS. You know, listen, nothing. I don't believe in any of that. If you're following your quads and you sold Bitcoin at $12,000, good luck to you. You know, forget that nonsense. Forget that nonsense. All right. So, I don't think anything that doesn't affect. I follow the charts, by the way. Look, the markets are so complicated. I follow price. Price is the only leading indicator there is. I follow price around the market structure, support and resistance. With the help of trend lines and chart patterns. By the way, what are those chart patterns? What are the ones that we tend to follow, right? We're looking at triangles. We're looking at bear and bull flags. And we're looking at rising and descending wedges. Those are the patterns that I follow, right? Let's go over here. Jordan, please don't take my mild criticism a doubt. Yeah, no. I'm just going, man. I don't. So Here we go. So S&P 500, let's take a look at it. Markets are bullish this morning off of what? Off of the fact that we got the Biden transition team giving the go-ahead, and we got Janet Yellen getting ready to buy stocks. Now, she can't adjust as U.S. Treasury Secretary. She has no power to buy stocks, right? But she's going to influence, right, a lot of people up on the Hill. That's coming. Whether you believe it or not, it's coming. So what's going on over here? Is this a breakout above that trend line over here? I'm waiting and looking for it. Well, either, look, this is where we're at this morning. This is too how do you say, uncertain, not clear. Doesn't matter because we always wait for the what? The breakout and then the retest and then the resumption. That's what we're waiting for right now to see if that occurs and plays out. The Nasdaq is still lagging though. Let's check out the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's still having trouble. We want to see what? We want to see the indexes confirming themselves, right? We want to see hold on one second. Is that a bull flag on the S&P 500? Let me check. So a bull flag would be this, right? A bull flag would be this with this. So I don't see a bull flag. I definitely see a triangle though, and that's as clear as day. This triangle right here is just as clear as day. They're both consolidation patterns, right? Right here we have such clarity on the indexes, it's ridiculous. Now there are some people who are like, oh, you got to be in a trade, whatever. Keep trying. Yeah, we'll check out the Russell in 1 second. We'll check out Tesla. I don't have the comments on, so if you're commenting, I apologize. I don't see it. I got to find the flow here. Like Greg said, it's a matcha morning, by the way. It's a matcha morning. We got to get going over here. By the way, on Bitcoin over here, we're waiting. I'm waiting for the pullback. And I don't care if that happens now because trust me, I would prefer picking up a lot more Bitcoin at 15,000 and 14,000, no question about it. But I'll be just as happy to pick up Bitcoin at 21,000 if that meant we went to 30,000 first before the pullback, because I would feel safe adding. I do not feel safe adding to Bitcoin over here, right here towards the all-time high after Bitcoin has come up about 90% in 2 months, 3 months, whatever, 2 months. It has come up 90% in 2 months. It's stretched. I don't feel like FOMOing. I feel confident about that. All right, let's go. Nasdaq, we're waiting for the confirmation. Nasdaq's still over here, not affirming. We want to see that affirmation. It is Thanksgiving week. Russell, the small caps are absolutely leading the way. Does that look like something you want to buy into? Anybody here want to buy into that? Let's look at the daily time frame, right? New all-time highs. What does everyone see? Before I point it out to you, what does everyone see that the price pattern that is occurring right over here? And is it bearish or bullish, right? I'll point it out to you right now. This is what I see. Oh, we got to stop those extended lines over here. Hold on. Rewind. Sorry about yesterday's video having to come down. I know a lot of people were looking out for that. I do apologize. Let's go over here. I see this and or this. Either way. No, I don't see that. To me, this looks like an unstable pattern that's developing over here. It looks like a very sharp rising wedge. New all-time highs. Is this where you want to lean in? No, not even close. Not myself. All right, that's the Russell. But also take note of what's happening over here. This is a very bullish signal that's occurring on the Russell as the small caps are leading this wave. So remember what happened, ever since the March low. We first had Nasdaq roaring. It was the Nasdaq roaring. It was tech under the lockdown situation, and rightfully so. And then the S&P geared up, right? S&P finally made new all-time highs, and we had the Dow lagging. The Dow has since gone on to make new all-time high, and now we have small caps leading. This is very bullish. How is it possible small caps could be leading right now if you take a look around at the economy, not the markets, at the economy, and anyone should be able to realize that we are really in some dire straits over here. If we go to more intense lockdowns, could the US economy survive? It seems to me that they're looking for a reason to add more stimulus, not just stimulus, for further QE, right? And in order to do that, they got to take things down. Should small caps be leading right here? I don't know. I mean, they shouldn't, but the fact that they are, that's a strong signal. So you could see by my little thought over there, I am very conflicted. Let's look at the Dow right now. What I mean, just looks obviously right now. They're looking at the Dow Jones, looks very, very bullish over here, right? Just flirting right over here with all-time highs. Looks very, very good. If the Nasdaq joins the party and we have all indexes breaking out and technically looking bullish, I know personally I'm going to follow the flow. It's one of my best trades. When I personally don't see it and then price is showing me and I go with it, right? Because listen, I'm not trying to be right. I want to make sure I follow what's happening. And if I get all the indexes with bullish technical breakouts, regardless of what I think should be happening, I'm going to follow what's happening. It's one of some of my best trades come from that. All right. Yeah, no. I'm with you on 100%, Kips. I agree with you 100%. I think the Russell and the Dow, and probably you're way more astute there saying the Dow 30, right? I think that they are going to lead the way down. I'm with you 100%. 100% on that. And that's 2 days in a row. We're kind of on the same page. I guess it's because it's Thanksgiving week. I don't know. Something's going on over there. What effect will stimulus and lockdowns have on Bitcoin? It's very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say, but I do want to point out one thing. Go back to September, right? From September to October, we had the indexes down. We had the S&P down 10%. And at that same time, and Bitcoin has not yet broken that correlation, by the way. Bitcoin has clearly broken its correlation, but wait until next year. It's going to really break its correlation. And in that same time, you had Bitcoin rise 12%. So, is there a disconnect right now clearly between Bitcoin and the rest of the markets? All day long. If there's a liquidity crisis, will Bitcoin feel the pain? Absolutely. Will Bitcoin have, if there's a liquidity crisis, another 60% pullback? I don't think so. Right? Do you all remember? But this was also a little overpronounced. That was a 70% pullback. It was also a little overdone because of the BitMEX liquidation loop that occurred. The bottom occurred as BitMEX went offline. Nevertheless, it happened. It's here. So, gold, by the way, going back to 2008, I don't need to show it up. It had a 30% pullback during the crisis, during the liquidity. It wasn't a liquidity crisis, systematic crisis. And then this time only a 15% pullback. If Bitcoin will feel the pain if there's no signs of a liquidity crisis right now, by the way. There are no signs. Could that happen 100%? If it's happening, we're going to be aware of it. We're not seeing any signs of it. If Bitcoin would feel the pain, it would probably be a temporary event. Why would it be temporary? Because there's no question that the Fed would have to. You saw how quick the Fed acted last time. Do you remember how far it caught Buffett off guard? Buffett never expected the Fed to act so quickly. He was waiting with all that cash, waiting for the right time to buy. Right? And the Fed will act again quickly, and Bitcoin will jump as quick as it did last time. So that's not a question. Not that it's not a question. It's a good question, but it's not a worry. Bitcoin is going to really break. Is really going to break in 2021 this current correlation, and it has already significantly. Do you all remember back over here? When, I kept saying, watch, the correlation's going to break. A lot of people do not believe that. I don't think that anyone now doubts that. All right. So what else are we looking at today? We're looking at a lot. Do we got a little bit of a more flow than yesterday? Absolutely. Thanks, Craig. I do appreciate the support. Hey, listen, if you're watching and you're glad to be here, please smash that like button. If you learn anything, please smash that like button. It does help support me and the channel. I do appreciate it very much. So listen, all right, perfect comment. Perfect comment over here. You know, and the reason being is, listen, this is very important. And this also brought in the perfect segue for me. Do not get emotional when trades are going in your favor. Okay? This is really, really important. You need to be detached. You could, listen, should you be happy? Of course. You have to be detached though, because otherwise, as trades are going against you, right, you're going to be very emotional. If you're emotional on the upside, you will be emotional on the downside. And do you remember, just let me bring this back to your attention. Do you remember over here when we had this 20% correction on Bitcoin? Because that was only 20%. A lot of people were feeling the heat. It was too much for a lot of people. So you have to be mentally prepared. It's like, you're thinking for yourself as a warrior here. You got to be really prepared. And there's no question about it. We're going to experience pullbacks. A 30% pullback is no joke. Just like the FOMO is real right now, the fear will be real. Because right now, if we pull back over here 30%, we come right back into this beautiful technical area, a lot of people think Bitcoin's going to crash, right? You got to have the mindset, the awareness to know that's where you're leaning in ahead of time. And it's kind of like, jumping off that diving board. That's the same feeling over there. You got to go with it. Sound, Sam, we got sound. Does anyone not have sound? There we go. I saw a little bit of wisdom being shared. I wanted to get over to it. All right. So now let's go in over here. Before we get into FX, and we're going to get there right away. We got a little bit of a flow going, so we're going to keep going with it. But I do want to talk. Did we talk about this yet? Let's talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin. All right. Because Alan over here, Brandon, pointed out that beautiful descending wedge, right into the support. And then boom, look at that breakout. And look what's happening. We're coming back at that after the breakout, looking to retest that support over there. Let's pull up a chart. Let's take a look at it in real time and see what we see. We're going to get right to the alts in 1 second right now. There's a big point I want to make about the alts before we get into FX. How can there be a 30% when there's a Bitcoin shortage? So listen, Zen, trade it as you feel, trade it as you see. If you think we're going straight up to $140,000, I don't see it. I don't see it personally. Markets are markets. Watch what happens, right? Is this time different? Is this time, all the institutions are there? And, so you think institutions are really just going to chase parabolic moves? Because that's what those guys do, right? They really just FOMO, and they're just going to chase a parabolic move because they have no idea how those end. These guys have no technical awareness. Come on, guys, you got to listen. Markets are markets. This time is different, but it's the same as it was going back to trading rice futures back in China, 2,000 years ago. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed. Everything's changed. It's human psychology. It's human emotion. It's all the same thing. If you don't believe that there's going to be a pullback on Bitcoin because the institutions are here, then go ahead and make sure you're fully positioned into Bitcoin right now and hold on for the whole bull market cycle. On 3 ways to trade Bitcoin, your strategy number 1. You're just holding on for the whole bull market, and then you got it. Okay? That's all good. So, New Yorker. I wish I had this chart over here. Guys, imprint this in your brain for 1 quick second. What I want you to focus in on is right over here. The support that Alan has over here at 0.03. Over here, you could see this touch over here to that resistance, this touch over here to support, because this is the closest line we're coming in to touch. And after this breakout over here of this descending wedge, if that is the first retest, and then we come up over there, that's extraordinarily bullish. So with that in mind, this is the support right over here where my mouse is. I'm going to draw that in. Alan, thanks for sharing this. Right? Brandon, thanks for all your work. Over here, this is really important, right? This is really important over here. I'm going to clean up this chart. I'll clean up right now. Let me just throw this one trend line over here. Oh, we got a pause in the wave. We got a pause in the wave. There it is. Right? I think we're going right there. Focusing over here and over here. All right. If we get a resumption off of over here, I think this is a really good look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. Okay. I'm going to be watching this. I think it's a really good setup developing. That was a really strong signal. Look how multi-month descending wedge, beautiful breakout. We'll keep watching it. And that's also because we know where we are in the cycle. I never even noticed that before. Thank you for that. Before we get into the FX right now and really get a feel of the markets, I want everyone to focus in on the altcoins over here. By the way, right after this video, this session over here, I'm going to be uploading a video to the channel that I did yesterday. It's a short one, but a good one on my Ethereum and altcoin price predictions for this upcoming cycle. But here's what I want to focus all of us right now. Right now, we are at a certain point in time where I think it should be clear to everyone, right? And by the way, long-term listeners, have I not always said 6 months after the Bitcoin halving is when alt season begins? In hindsight, now that we're 7 months into it, we could see that that was exactly correct, right? What's amazing about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are the cycles. It is such clarity and such an edge if you ride that wave. It's a whole different wave. It's not the waves we're normally looking for in the markets. It's its own thing. And right now in that wave, I think it's clear to everybody that alt season is upon us. And you're seeing crazy moves like XRP, right? XRP was up 30% yesterday or something like that, right? What is it today? Is it holding those gains? It's up another 8% today. Like, these are crazy moves. I think it's clear to everyone that alt season is upon us. And these crazy moves aren't even crazy yet. Going back over here, I want you to see a couple of things. I have a really good intention for why I'm sharing this with you right now. It's really important. So just focus for a few more minutes with an open mind. It's really important. I'm trying to gather the tribe. This is like a tribal meeting right now, sitting everyone down. And I'm trying to refocus everyone of where our attention needs to come and be. All right? And then we're going to get into the rest of the markets right now. All right? Yes, Matty Beach. I'm so glad I saw that comment. The comments were off. I just clicked over to there. You know, we got some like groove going on over there where I saw that, right? All right. Alt season. That, by the way, John, I'm not going to answer that right now. That is answered in the video I'm uploading right after this live sesh. All right. And it's answered to the T. Watch that video. Comment on that video. Share that video. Smash the like button. But what I want to focus everyone's attention on right now, and always, I've always said this to you, right? Bitcoin over here. I love it, right? But there's no question about it, whether it's the top 10, whether it's the top 20, whether it's the top 70 or the top 100, they're going to outperform Bitcoin. Top 100, not so much. Outperforms Bitcoin by a large margin, outperforms the top 10, but the top 20, top 70, that's really where the magic is happening, right? All coins outperform Bitcoin. A basket is great. I prefer Bitcoin, lightly leveraged. That's my drink, right? What do you drink? I like a Bitcoin lightly leveraged. That's what I like over here. Notice over here what we're seeing right now, though. You're seeing over here, I'm going to pull up the top 20 over here. The top 20 and the top 70, which outperform, right, Bitcoin and the top 10. The top 20 altcoins, a basket, they're going to outperform Bitcoin. Not yet. Right now, we're still seeing Bitcoin and the top 10 outperforming. Watch what happens as the alt season gets going. We're going to see these over here, the laggers. skyrocket and catapult past Bitcoin and the top 10. It's coming, right? We're at the beginning of alt season right now. That's why we got Ethereum, Bitcoin leading the way, right? But watch look what's happening. Look where we are. Situational awareness. It's time to focus in on alts, but with the awareness that, listen, just the same way, Bitcoin is not going to be a smooth ride. There's going to be some nasty pullbacks, right? Alts too. Alts are going to come off more than 30% at times. That's why you don't step in here and buy XRP after being up, 50% in a couple of sessions, because you'll get your face ripped off. Well, let's look at that drawdown already that happened today, right? So what I'm saying, look at that. That's a 15% drawdown in hours. So what I'm saying to you is, as we're going to start focusing on alts, and the reason being because this is a moment in time. These next 10 months are a moment in time where there's immense profit to be made. We want to be riding the right waves. At the same time, we have to make sure that we're only in uptrends, buying off supports, that we have our levels in ahead of time, that we're not FOMOing, and that we're taking really good trades as they develop. Speaking of which, this one over here. All right, let me focus back in on FX right now. Let's do it. I think I need a sip of matcha over here. A sip of matcha. 1,600 people. Thanks for being here. No, don't I mean, great comment also over here. Listen, this is my opinion. Do not short anything at any time during alt season. In the bear market, and by the way, guess what? 2022, we're going to have a big bear market, and look how these things collapse, losing 95% of their value over in about a 12-month period. Right? There's going to be plenty of time to short altcoins. Now's not the time. You're in a bull market. Do not short anything. Remove that from your brain. Remove that action, and you're going to be in a much better position. Okay? When we enter bear season and it's time to go hunting, you could short altcoins all day long. Okay. I just want to make sure though, because that's important. That's important. There'll be a video uploaded right after we get off this live stream that's going to talk about Ethereum and altcoins and where they should peak out during the bull market. All right. So watch that coming up. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Kips is just like, by the way, big shout out to Kips's last track that we played on Friday. That is going to become absolutely a Friday ritual. Every Friday, we'll be looking to listen to that track. Huge hit. Everyone loved it. Thanks for sharing that with us. We do appreciate that. Gold capitulating. Maybe. I'm going to be watching this level right over here. By the way, because I think someone's like, yeah, Jordan will just do whatever to fit the narrative. I want to see what's going on over here. I have it. I'm going to put it back exactly where it is, but also watch, because this is the horizontal support right over there, right? 1790. Watch over there. There's that touch. Perfect. That touch. But right now the market's over here. I'm going to this one to see if this holds. So tomorrow, if it doesn't, and I push it to here, I'll know ahead of time why I'm doing that. All right. Look at that. There's a lot more touches to this line. You can see it over here. You can see us riding down over here. But I'm not doing it now. I'll do it tomorrow, just to trigger events. All right. So let's go. S&P 500. I'm not reading into anything whatsoever. Why? Because there's no action here. There's no action for us until we get a breakout and then a retest and a resumption. Is this, by the way, a retest happening right now? I mean, I don't think so, but it clearly would be if we resumed off that and then if this bar closed red in New York and we hugged around here and then resumed off of it, then that would be clear. Right now, it's not clear. I don't even think we're coming in for a retest. I think this is what's happening right now. This is what I think is happening right now. It's not clear. And guess what? It's not always so clear. Vance. All right, my brother. As long as you know tomorrow what's coming, right? All right, let's take a look what's going on in the markets. Everyone's got some good situational awareness. By the way, as Bitcoin over here is pumping towards its possible all-time high, right? The rotation between altcoins and Bitcoin has been almost too good, right? Like as Bitcoin consolidates, Bitcoin's not dropping. As it consolidates, the alts pump, and now Bitcoin took the baton again. Bitcoin's running, and alts are not falling. Alts are consolidating. You know, it's really, really, really. Apple is the same exact thing. Pull up the chart of the Nasdaq. There is absolutely no difference what's going on any of those individual stocks as what's going on the Nasdaq over here. Except Apple's in the middle. The rest of the Nasdaq's up here. Apple's in the middle, right? So that's not really too bullish. But let's check out. By the way, let's check out what's going on with Tesla. Let's just pull up a price chart really quick, right? Is that an island reversal setting up? I don't know. Could be. Watch it. But listen, the only advice that insight that I could add to Tesla is that, look, this time is not different. It never is. That as an instrument gets added to the S&P 500, that's generally its interim top. All right? So just be aware, as everyone's riding the hype right now, that if you're going to make a bet that this time's different, that usually doesn't work out for you, this thing could go to 600 before December 14th. No question about it. But Plantar, look, I can't support evil. There you go. All right. Let's keep going. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. This might be quick. If it's quick, it's going to give me a quick bit of clarity. That's fine. The Kung Fu grip. Master Shifu's finger hold. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. It's into the resistance still, right? There's nothing to read in that. If something's not showing, I'm going to quickly go above it. If the Australian dollar Swiss franc is able to go ahead and get above that resistance, that opens up a whole new move of possible risk on. I can't imagine how everything is so risk on with the current state of things. It is what it is, though. We're going to follow what it is. Yeah, WTI, look, we got my breakout, right? Right? That's what I was looking for. That breakout above 42.80, targeting 45. It's on 44.92. It's on its way. All happening. Nevertheless, not trading it. Didn't want to take it. Risk on. I mean, oil's bid. It's crazy. I don't see it. Maybe the market's pricing in. Georgia turning blue and a Biden victory and, a good amount of stimulus headed to the markets. It could be. I have no idea. Right? Well, been all over that, Been all over that one. What's my price prediction on Bitcoin 10 years from now? I have no idea. I have no price prediction. I imagine, listen, look, I have a price prediction for what's in front of us, right? And not even like far in the future, 10 months. It's pretty lofty in itself. So let's achieve that first. But look, I'm on record. I firmly believe there's going to come a point in time when Bitcoin overtakes the market cap of gold. I haven't done the math in a long time. When I did the math in the past and gold was only trading at a $7.5 trillion market, that put every single Bitcoin price, I believe, at $325,000. Both those are higher right now. That's my first goal. Do I think Bitcoin has the potential one day to trade at $1 million per coin? I mean, clearly, but I don't think that's, first let's overtake gold's market cap. All right? Look, the miners is the play. I don't know anything about it. I listened to Stacy Hubert. No, not Stacy Hubert. That's Max Kaiser's partner. Stansberry Research, the old host of Kiko News. She interviews everyone in the space all day long. I would consider her to be an expert. Max Kaiser, I think that he knows way a lot more than me when it comes to. They both of them are like, look, it's way too difficult. Max is playing ETFs. I'm not an expert. You would have to live and breathe that space to have any idea. It's not me. No, it's not alone because Eugene, I can make 100 of coins XYZ, and that doesn't mean it's going to keep going up, right? Bitcoin is the largest decentralized network in the world. That has enormous value. Bitcoin is going up because it's a scarce asset that everyone's fighting for. Listen, you could use seashells and call them money, and if no one else wants to trade with them, they're not worth anything. But if other people value them, then the value be whatever the market values them at, right? All right, let me go back into the markets. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. This looks interesting on a retest into resistance. I like to sell markets that are in downtrends off of resistance. I see us coming back into that resistance over here. It looks interesting. We have something on the calendar, though, by the way. Not too much. I wouldn't read into that. All right. So, nevertheless, I'm not interested. I'm not even going to green flag it. This is not even a wave that I'm interested in seeing if we get the resumption off to go short over here. All right. I'm looking to see if I see. Does anyone else see this, or is it just me? Is that a possible descending wedge forming? I got to clean up my chart. I got to make this clear, right? I don't even need these supports up here. I want things to be clear for me. All right. Is that a possible descending wedge? Does everyone see it? Is that something that we want to watch? All right, we'll just watch that trend line. Is this an uptrend since the March low? Yes. If we retake this resistance line breaking out of here, is that something I would become interested in? A lot more than I'm interested in right now, and would be trying to sell that resistance over there. Australian dollar, US dollar, right? All right, this is still becoming very interesting. By the way, this is what I'm watching happening right now. I'm watching that triangle right over there, right? So it could go both ways. A breakout above, I'll be interested in playing it. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. I think we were watching this one. Let me extend that. Oh, that's not going to work. Let me extend this line over here. And that's hard for me to tell, right? Are we above or below that? This is the one that's important over here, by the way. This line over here, right, is more important than this line over here. All right. This is a huge downtrend. Oil's bid. Canadian dollar, feeling the love over there, right? Oil's about to come into some heavy resistance, though, right? So let me see, right over there at 45 or 44.92. That's some resistance over there. It's not as big as 54. 54, I think oil would be gotten away from us. We trade up that high. All right, that might be a place to lean into the short side. What happened to my other channel line? Did I delete it? Right? Because that was pretty good work, right? I mean, can I get a thumbs up? Anyone who's aware, been following the channel since, to keep us out of oil for several months as it went sideways, and then noticing the downward sloping channel, and then saying, all right, that I'm not going to trade it, but I know what's happening. All right, so GP, thanks, brother. I do appreciate that very much. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we do. We take care of our own. We're trying to build everyone up, right? We're going to check out Euro Pound right now. The whole idea is to make everyone better. You all make me better as I make you better. The insight that you all add becomes more valuable and more valuable. And when I first started this channel in late October 2019, that was one of my reasons that I started this channel. I felt that the more insight I share with my 20 years experience in the markets, the more that I build up those around me, then the more that they're going to be adding to we see that now every day. Look how many people are adding so much insight every day. That's right. I can't look at the monthly. Winthrop. It's good insight. All right, let's keep going. let's really focus on what's going on, because I'm trying to get a feel. I don't have a feel right now for FX, right? And I want to. By the way, I'm going to kind of refocus the ship, right? We had the tribal meeting. I'm going to towards these altcoins, but not now, because in my opinion, altcoins have gotten away for the moment, right? So we're going to give it a minute to reset. By a minute, let's check back after Thanksgiving week. We'll start tidying up our charts, and we'll start looking. We were looking at that yesterday. This was a beautiful, like, this long consolidation we have here. Very, 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 very organized. This is a big technical breakout we've experienced over here. Nice picking up the resumption, Kips. By the way, and they remain so. Copper, platinum, palladium, nickel all look healthier in this moment than gold and silver. But you all know today was the first day that I've said, hey, watch. Don't give up on gold and silver right here at this point in time. Let's see what happens over the next couple of sessions, right? Copper also. I feel like the market is sensing stimulus. So gold into big resistance though, copper. Look at that big resistance right over here. It's time to take some off the table. Anyone swing trading copper into this big resistance over there. If we break above it, let me add this over here. If we break above it, it's going to add a new place to start going long again. But we're into some heavy noise up here. Be careful. Be careful. Yeah, we talked about Tesla. You could pull back. That's why I have in the center of the chart the strong symbol, like bold, so you could see it. You could pull back on the live stream and see where we get to Tesla. But Tesla right now, careful. December 14th, it's getting added. It's getting added to the S&P 500. Historically, that is an all-time top. What is the all-time high on Bitcoin? Is it 19,600? 19,600 and change. There we go. Alex, there is a link below for the course. By the way, it's probably one of the most valuable resources on the internet for trading. But we get into clarity. It's on the 8 hour, always on the 8 hour and only on the 8 hour when we're talking about that. Now, when we get into altcoins, we're going to be focusing on the 12 hour. All right. We're going to be focusing on the 12 hour. However, right now though, on the 8 hour, to answer your question, do check out that resource in the description below. Let's keep going over here. Let me find back. We want to get to I'll just skip right over to the Euro British Pound. This is actually pretty interesting over here because we bounced right over here off support. Now, what I'm seeing over here, right? I was watching this giant channel, which has changed, and now I'm watching this triangle over here. Now, it could potentially still break out to the upside, no question about it. We'll be watching for that. But a breakdown below this support over here at 88 cents, that's a big deal. That's an important level over here. And a breakdown below there, I think it's time to get involved and look to be selling the euro versus the British pound. That's probably a position that I would be looking to take. Right now, though, we've held support, right? We've held support. By the way, as you get close to a breakout or breakdown over here, what do I mean by that? You see that we're coming over here to a place where we're either going to break down or break out, right? And if I, Jordan, think that, you know what, I'm looking to play the breakdown. I think we're going to break down, right? As if we get another bounce into this resistance over here, right? And we get a rejection, I could take that trade because my risk reward coming back into the support is better than 1-to-1. I would take a 1-to-1 because as soon as we got there, I would tighten up my stop loss to break even and try to potentially get ahead of the break. That's also something to watch out for. And if it happens, I'll point it out to you over the next couple of sessions. I am not in the belief whatsoever. I am not. Listen, let me talk about it really quick, and then I'll go back into FX. I am personally not under the belief that the institutions are here and this time is different. I've looked at both sides with you all. I looked at VJ's tweet. Enormous respect for VJ, the author of The Bullish Case for Bitcoin. And he talked about the possibility of the fact that we have institutions here and that maybe drawdowns will be less. Look, we've institutions have been here and we still had a 20% pullback right over here in August into September, right? Square was buying here. MicroStrategy was buying over here. Other funds were buying over here. That's a 20% drawdown. Now, is it and by the way, pre-halving, we only had a 20% drawdown. So I took note of that it was a 20% drawdown, right? Because pre-halving, we're looking for a 30% drawdown, but we also had a big unforeseen event. So I was wondering, is it possible that we have less drawdowns now? Maybe it is. And you know what? I have no crystal ball. Is it possible that this bull run that we see 20% drawdowns instead of 30% drawdowns? Look, even in the last bull run, we had 140% drawdown. I don't think so, but I do think it's very prudent and wise if you're looking to layer in that, as you hit 20%, pick up a little bit, 25%, pick up a little bit more, and 30% is where you fully scaled in. I think that's the way to do it, and that's another thing too. We're seeing altcoins fly, our altcoins our institutions buying. They can't. There's no question about it. They could do it through like VC funds they have, but they're not buying altcoins. They can't. It's too small of a market. They're not able to literally. So this is another great question though, and it's a very simple answer. Okay, the reason why we see such big pullbacks is because we're seeing such massive volatility to the upside. These vertical blue lines are each, 150, 160, 170% moves to the upside in a matter of weeks or not even weeks, less than weeks. That's massive volatility to the upside. And when you're seeing massive volatility to the upside, look, 165%, 170%, 160%, 160% moves that are happening in weeks. That's massive volatility to the upside. It only makes sense that it occurs to the downside. And if you put it in perspective and you're seeing 160% moves to the upside and then a 30% pullback to the downside, it's not as if you're seeing massive volatility to the downside. You're seeing massive volatility to the upside. So if you believe institutions are here and they're going to push this thing parabolic, do understand that it's going to go both ways. My thoughts, my opinions. All right, let's get back into FX. I need a feel. I have a feel, and I always want to have that feel. All right, let's figure out what's going on over here. Look, we spiked above the resistance, but has not held. That's a daily time frame. Let me come back on the 8-hour, right? By the way, Euro's able to get above this little line I have over here. At that point, got to start looking at longs. Not happening yet. All right, Euro Canadian dollar. Do we get nothing going on? I have this line over here. Looking to go long if we break above it. Euro, Australian dollar. Is it possibly getting ready to break down outside of this range? I took a trade over here to the upside. It wound up being stopped out at the breakout of this multi-month consolidation, right? It didn't work out. If we break to the downside, I'll try it to the downside as well. I do like when I have several months chart patterns form because the breakouts or breakdowns could be big things. The DXY, we're already low. That's at the beginning of the session. We're all over it. Just seeing what's going on over here, getting situational awareness. Euro, Japanese yen. All right. Clear breakout of the channel. Coming into a bit of resistance right now. Do y'all see it? Coming up into the resistance right over here. It's big, decent resistance. It's still sideways though. And I don't like sideways. Let's keep going. I'm looking for Euro, New Zealand dollar. I'm looking for clarity. Right? Euro US dollar has held the trend line. All right, nothing set up here. Does anyone want to get involved in this? Absolutely not. That's fine. I thought Tesla. I thought Amazon is doing their own vans. Isn't Amazon building their own fleet? I thought, including planes. What's going to happen to FedEx? What's going to happen to DHL? Man. All right. So, pound Australian dollar, nowhere. Pound Canadian dollar, that trade happened already. People should still be holding that long, right? The yen weakness continues. By the way, I saw the euro, Japanese yen into resistance right here. I'm looking at the pound Japanese yen right now. I also see it into resistance here, right? Pound New Zealand dollar, nothing doing. It's possible we break down over here. Pound US dollar, I don't see anything whatsoever. It's been going on 3 weeks now. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Another Japanese yen pair into resistance. Now, it's not to say this risk. If the equity markets are able to stage a breakout over here, right? If they're able to stage a breakout over here, if they get going, and if we continue to see risk on, there's no question that the Japanese yen or the pairs against the Japanese yen could be opening up a new leg against it. But right now, today, they're all into resistance. They're all into resistance today. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, that does not look inviting right now. I don't see it. I don't see anything across FX at all. As a matter of fact, there's no one that should be looking for there's no waves. No one should be looking right now in FX for any entries. It is a holiday week and the markets are acting appropriately. So, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. Let's take a look at Amazon with all the chatter. Look, by the way, we saw the Nasdaq at the top of the resistance, right? The Amazon's towards the lower end, right? What about Apple? Apple also towards the lower end over there, which is interesting because if you get a breakout on the Nasdaq, watch for Apple, watch for Amazon. They're off of the support right now, right? However, it doesn't look so nice. That's all I'm going to say. How close is Bitcoin to the last all-time high? It is currently $200, $246 off the all-time high. We looked at gold for sure. Holiday week consolidation, big moves are coming. Big moves are coming. I'm continuing to watch. Look, same reason like on oil that I'm like, just pointed out what I believe was going to happen. Right now, I'm also on Japanese yen pairs. I am looking and watching to see if risk off comes into the market with everything. We didn't look at the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. This is actually kind of significant. This trend line over here is a big one. 6-year trend line. Look, we're testing it right now. So all Japanese yens are into resistance. But I said, right, if they break them, they could be doing a whole new leg up. This one is the most interesting thing I've seen all day. Why? Because if it breaks above this line, right, this is an entry that I'll be looking for on the long side. All right? That's the most interesting thing that I've seen all day. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Right? I don't know. I feel like we've done our work. We've done our session. I feel like listening to Kip's guitar right now. There you go. See you tomorrow. Absolutely. It's a good one. Right? We could look at alts though, and that's what we're gonna do. Absolutely. It's a pleasure to add any insight I can whatsoever to anyone. I don't trade exotics, Martin, at all. And not only that, I really don't think anyone should. That's the thing about stocks is the gaps. Stocks are ultra difficult to trade. By the way, Sabis, go into your settings and make sure that you're including the price for after hours. Do that. Okay, go into your settings on TradingView. Make sure you're including after hours data. But that's the thing about stocks is it's just they're so inefficient. They're so inefficient. It's ridiculous. FX is an extraordinarily better market than stocks. There's no question about that. Kips, this is too much. We're just sitting on the same page over there. All right, I want to get into it. Thanks, Gary. I do appreciate that very much. Again, I feel like listening to Kip's guitar right now, but I'm going to go into FX a little bit right now. I mean, FX. I'm going to go into the altcoins and just start tidying up my charts. I think we're missing Cardano over here. Let's get Cardano over here. We're going to call this the Brandon pair. What exchange am I picking out over here? For sure, Binance, perpetual futures. All right, let's do it. Wait, Nathan, sometimes, like, guys, Brandon, big shout out, brother. Listen, like, this is the truth. You ready? It's impossible for me to be able to go, thanks, Josh, to be able to go over all of the charts with you and to get into a flow if I'm following all the comments. So I missed most of them, and that's the truth. And on Fridays, I love when we could kind of like have that interaction where it's kind of like ask me anything, and we're just going free flow, and I get to focus on the comments and on the charts, right? Listen to little Kip's guitar afterwards. That I love Fridays, but I'm glad I saw this comment. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Nathan. All right. Let me push this back off. Right. Let's take a look at what's going on. I'm going to get a 3-day view. These moves on altcoins right now have been massive, right? In the past couple of days, massive moves. When I say massive, what am I talking about? You ready? We said as soon as we break 500, that's a 25% move in 2 days, 3 days. We said as soon as we take out the 500 resistance that the 621 was going to come very quick. I have to be honest, a little quicker than I envisioned. No question about that. But we're into resistance right now. What does that mean for us? A couple of things. First of all, if we do break above this resistance over here, that is setting up a new time to get long, because then we're targeting up here somewhere around 800, So that will, again, that could come quickly. So let's just put that in there. That's a little too high. Let me throw in a resistance level. But right now we're into resistance. Right now, when I said, all right, we're going to get focused in on alts, a lot more focused in on trading alts, but not right now, not after this big run up they've had. We're going to wait. In uptrends, we buy off support. We don't look to buy into resistance. Right now, I'm trying to dissuade everyone from getting into these markets for the near term. If this breaks above, that opens up a whole new level. All right. Selling Bitcoin. Do not. Yeah, it is. For sure. This is a funny comment, Anthony. Thank you for that. All right. Here we go. We're looking at massive. Look at that move. Holy guacamole. That's crazy skates. I'm not even going to add anything. So I can't look at the perpetual futures contracts because I need data. I need data. Where's my Bitstamp? Nothing. I guess we're going to where? Kraken? Bifinex? Sorry. Apologies. Let's look at Kraken. Right? We're going to wait for it to reset and take a breath. Then we'll start looking. The thing about these run-up right now is that it's making it very hard to go ahead and find levels. I need them to kind of resettle a little bit. That's fine. And that's by going through these charts right now, then I'm clear. By the way, is it a good time to buy Ripple after it rips? Did you just call it Ripple? Any which way, right? That thing is ripped. What happens after it rips? You know, give Ripple a minute to sell into it. You know, wait, there's some support down over here, right down at 48 cents. We're gonna add that in. Right around there. 47 cents. That's a good support. Focus in on that. I hope some of you at least get my humor. Do not short anything in the bull market. Just do not short anything during alt season. The money's to be made on the long side. Like you could kind of like it's very forgiving if you're using good money management here. You know, if you set your risk per trade, it's going to be very forgiving for you. And just don't short anything in the bull market. Even EOS, we're getting mid caps now, getting going over here. Is it into resistance? I'm just focusing on where the supports are in the market right now. Where's the support below it, right? Move this line up right over here. It's very strong support over there at $2.97. All right, let's keep going. Dogecoin, you got to be a fan of Dogecoin. It also, like Litecoin, is a decentralized cryptocurrency. It doesn't have the hash power behind it, no question about it. But you gotta support it. That's right. All right, let's take a look at Tezos finally getting off of zero over here again. You don't think you should support decentralized cryptocurrencies? That's all right, brother. That's fine. Everyone could have their own opinion. No, I don't have a sell order at 20,000. I'm not. No, I took profit on two ninths of my tradable position at 18,932. I'm not selling any more Bitcoin at all. I'm only looking for the next pullback on Bitcoin to add to my position. I'm not selling Bitcoin at 20K. Why would you? There's no resistance up at 20K. There's nothing above us. Polkadot's very hard. I think Polkadot is very hard to do any type of analysis on. What is a dot? It's very difficult to do any type of analysis on, right? This is a speculative play. This is an asymmetric bet. If you're investing in this, right? What are you investing in? It's not tradable right now for me. That will change perhaps if we break to new all-time highs, come back and test that as support, resume off it. That gets easier. But in my opinion, this is Ronald. Thanks for sharing, but don't spam. Right? Please. Hey, thanks for sharing, but don't spam the channel. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. So, waves rocketing. Do you think that this is sustainable and it's going to keep going up? I don't. Look, there's like, we're not back in like 2015 where, you didn't have too many choices about where you could trade cryptocurrencies. BB, you could trade cryptocurrencies almost everywhere now, right? You shouldn't have a problem finding the broker that you want to use. No question about that. XMR, that's fine. I'm just getting in the habit here. There's nothing, Link actually is something to talk about, right? And only the fact that it has broken to the upside of this trendline resistance over here now, right? So this little red line could go. Let me come on the 8-hour. And put a resistance line up here. Right? You see this actually right up there. Right there. You see the support, the resistance again here. That's what we're focused on. Right? But the fact that we're above that trend line also, if Chainlink consolidates here and then breaks out above, if it consolidates here and then breaks out above, man, we are a stone throws away from all-time highs. I'll keep watching this. Listen, I don't see anything because of the moves we've seen over the past few days on altcoins. There's nothing whatsoever. I just wanted to start getting in the habit of going over them. There's nothing that I could add to the conversation except for the video I'm going to post right after this live stream which talks about where I think they top out during the cycle. And look, I didn't include that in the video, but truth is truth, and I nailed from my research when alt season begins, 6 months after the Bitcoin halving. So with that in mind, pay attention to the video I upload where I'm going to talk about the price predictions of where they're going to top. I got a history. It's worth paying attention to, right? So there you go. How long we've been online this morning? Just an hour and 15. We got a lot done. What is VET? Never heard of it. First time I'm hearing it. So by the way, just a heads up, I'll probably say it again. No, I will not enter Bitcoin at $20,000. Bitcoin has just in the past few months risen 100%. I've showed you in the past bull markets, right? Bitcoin, and I'm not even looking for it yet though. But as Bitcoin rises 150, 160, 170%, that's been notoriously the top on the bull market phases. I'm looking and waiting for the first pullback on Bitcoin before I enter any more into my position. If you don't know where I stand on Bitcoin, go to the playlist, watch the video, 3 Ways to Trade the Bitcoin Bull Market. It outlines 3 of the most effective strategies possible, and it's the best. And by the way, if you still haven't seen the video on a beginner's guide to trading Bitcoin, watch that one. It says beginner's guide. It's probably one of the most advanced strategies, easiest advanced strategies for accumulating Bitcoin. You can't go wrong. Asterisk, of course, everything could go wrong. Oil could go trade negative and go to zero. It's the markets. Before you make any investment, make sure you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Do not listen to anyone, but listen to everyone in order to be able to affirm your own thoughts and opinions, right? It's possible. And JC, okay, let me talk about that. That's very important. So you don't think that you should do your own research? Yep, you should not do your own research. If someone on YouTube tells you to buy something without even thinking about it, you should buy it. And by the way, when they exit, I hope you get that update. So JC, yes, Bitcoin could go to 25,000. Bitcoin could go to 30,000. It could go higher. No question of it. I just don't feel safe in buying Bitcoin until we have a 30% pullback at this point. Listen, if we pull back right now, towards this support over here, 30%, I'm going to feel really comfortable about stepping in to buy Bitcoin. And if we would have pulled back from here, I would not have bought Bitcoin, So anyway, look, when I talk about the 100 and these are the lines over here, these vertical lines of the moves. So you could see over here, once we hit the new all-time high, I'm sorry, I back up the truck. Sorry for that. JC, please follow me. My thought over here. This is where we are right now today. We are exactly where we were, where we topped out last cycle. We're just off the all-time high, right? You could see that this is where we are at this moment in time. We are right off the all-time high, right? And then we happen to have a 30% pullback. Is that going to happen this time? We will see, right? And if it does, from that first pullback on the test of the all-time high, that's when we started tracking the 150 to 70% moves up on Bitcoin. I'm not tracking that off of this one. Did that happen? That's a good question. I don't even know. Here's the 30% pull down coming into the halving, right? And then we go up to the high. That it was almost 150%. Not, And by the way, come back over here right now. Come back to right over here. That is the halving, the first drawdown. It was a 20% halving this time. And we are we're not exactly, but close to it at 137%. Is it possible that we go up towards 20,000, right? That would be rhyming. That would be, to answer your question, and that was good for me. Was that good for you? It was good for me. Listen, I'm not yet looking for that. It's not until after we have this first pullback that I start looking for strategy number 3, the most difficult, right? Most profit potential, selling after those 150 to 170% moves to the upside. I'm not looking for those yet. I'm not looking for that until we have the first 30% pullback. Yeah, go ahead and well, we're gonna get into those together in the next couple of weeks. Love the comment. I'm not at any point in time ever going to go get into what this channel is for how to trade the markets, whether it's altcoins, right? Which we're going to, like I said today, we're going to start focusing in on as alt season is getting going here. And that's where everyone should be focused. Those are the waves that there's going to be a lot of money to be made on. Now, when we're talking about projects themselves, individual projects and what I think of them, I think everything of Bitcoin, I root for everything to succeed. I'm not one of those people who I'm like, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. You know, Ethereum, I hope it's a success. I hope many projects are huge successes, and I believe that they will be. But I do not get into individual projects, studying their teams, studying their financial situation, studying their white papers. That I'm just going to follow what's happening on the price. I don't need to do that. I could just trade them during alt season as, you know, price goes ballistic without having to know what's going on with the individual companies, without getting attached to any individual project and doing it like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cue the outro. I'm gonna cue the outro, and then I'm gonna upload that video if anyone wants to watch on what I believe we're looking at over here for the alt cycle. Price tells everything. No, I don't. That's not what I have. Thanks, Charlie Brown. You're a good man. Alan, thanks for your tweet this morning. It was greatly received and appreciated. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, JC Travels. Listen, like I am as sure as about anything about this that the 8 hour is significantly more profitable than the 4 hour. The 4 hour is only profitable if price is really like back in March, the 4 hour would have been profitable. Outside of a crisis, you're going to get whipsawed around, get off the 4 hour time frame. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, spending this time together. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.